full-size meal deal of all.
Cheeseburger.
Chicken strips.
And he can't believe he got a full-size meal for just $7.
Can't believe I got a full-size meal for just $7.
That's a $7 meal deal, and that's what's up at DQ. Happy tastes good.
All right, time for the 4 at 4 with Zach and Sandy joining us. Let's start with the value of a college degree. A Pew Research study found that Republicans are more likely than Democrats to say a 4-year college degree is not that important to get a well-paying job. But half said a college degree is less important than it was 20 years ago. Democrat or Republican, going to college is gotten really, really expensive. And unless you, I mean, if you're going to come out with, like, I don't know, Sandy, like a communications degree, and your parents are going to spend 250 grand on that, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, I know there was a time where you needed to get your degree in order to get a job, but it seems like there are all these trade schools that some kids are opting to do. I'm still a big believer in sending your kids to college and making sure that they get their degrees.
And politics aside, because there are some recent reasons for which the findings might be the way it is right now. If you just look at it, there are big companies that are removing the education barriers and going to a more skill-based approach to hiring. For example, Google, they used to say you have to have a BA in computer science or whatever it is, right, to be considered for this job as an engineer. They've removed that. If you have the skills, you're good.
Cool.
You'll be considered.
All right.
All right. Apple Music has revealed its top 10 albums of all time. A bit of a surprise at number 1, Lauryn Hill's acclaimed album, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, followed by Thriller, Abbey Road, and Purple Rain. Number 5 is also an interesting choice, Frank Ocean's Blonde. Rounding out the top 10, Stevie Wonder's songs In the Key of Life, Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City, Amy Winehouse's Back to Black, Nevermind by Nirvana, and Beyonce's Lemonade. The list was compiled by experts and industry professionals. Zach, how do you weigh in?
I saved my breath for this one. I kept scrolling and scrolling on the list because it's 100 albums they ranked. I didn't see Mariah Carey anywhere on the list. I didn't see some other. No, I'm serious though, because everybody looks at Mariah Carey as like the diva. Do you realize she writes and produces her own songs? So she has had some amazing albums. You know what else I noticed about this list too is that there are a lot of older albums on there, and the newer ones are really only Adele, Taylor Swift, or Beyonce. People aren't putting together albums like that anymore, the concept albums. It's kind of sad. It's like a lost art form almost. But yeah, Billy Joel wasn't on there, Innocent Man. There were so many on there that I wanted to see, did not see. So you know what? It's all subjective. We're never going to be happy with these lists. You're not going to make everybody happy with these lists. So.
Yeah, you're right, because a lot of artists just drop singles that people download. Yes. They download the individual songs. But also, no Rolling Stones? Come on. Come on. Who's making these lists?
The experts, supposedly.
The experts.
You guys should lead a change.org petition.
Zach's all over.
Or I should be the expert they can see.
A big lesson for one family visiting the Central Coast. The family got an $88,000 fine for picking up 72 Pismo clams at Pismo Beach. The clams nearly became extinct. They're highly regulated. The family says their children thought they were collecting seashells. They didn't know. A judge took pity and reduced the fine to $500. Sandy, could you see your kids doing that?
I could totally see that. I mean, you know, if the kids don't really know the difference, they think they're shells. At least the judge had a little bit of pity, Larry.
Yeah, agreed. Zach?
They took a lot of clams, though. Wasn't it? I think it was 70, right? I think, somebody correct me if I'm right. Yeah, it was 70 clams, and that's what we were talking about. That's like a whole bunch. And then if somebody is really taking these clams for a reason that they shouldn't be, then they're going to look at this as a precedent and be like, oh, sorry, I didn't know. You know, so I don't know. It's maybe setting a bad precedent. I don't know why they needed that many.
Apparently there were signs everywhere as well.
That too.
So, I mean, I think the judge reached a fair compromise, right?
They learned their lesson.
Yeah. All right. Now to a different kind of food. This one won't get you in hot water or a $500 fine. Nana Joe's granola is a San Francisco born and creative food. It began in 2010 with a dream of bringing natural, whole food ingredients to stores.
And joining us on this Tasty Thursday, Michelle Pusateri, the founder of Nana Joe's. First, thanks so much for joining us. I'm torn between asking questions and crunching away on all the granola.
You ask questions, I'll crunch.
All right, you crunch, I'll talk. What do we have to try today, and how did you get started with granola specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I got started with granola in a kind of a funny way. I went on a website called Fitness Singles back in 2007, and I wanted to learn how to surf. And I met somebody on that website, and we got together and we were eating granola and yogurt before long surf sessions, and I was literally crashing out. And I thought, what is going on here? So I went and I looked at the ingredients that were in the granola that I was eating, and it was packed with a lot of sugar. And I thought, you know what? I'm a trained pastry chef. I can make my own granola. And I started making my granola, and as everybody's story goes, I started selling it, and here we are. 14 years later.
Wow.
Congratulations. Well, where was your pastry chef training, and what did you make?
I was at the Culinary Institute of America. I've worked at the Four Seasons, the Fairmont Hotel. I was at Nopa and Nopalito in the city. I was a pastry chef of Magnolia for a little bit on Haight Street.
All right, sorry to make you dig into your LinkedIn, but I'm just curious, right? Because you can tell this is a very elevated granola. Can you talk about what kind of ingredients and flavors you like to put into your granola to make it a little different, to make it not have that much sugar but still taste great?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of things that you can do. Maple syrup is a great one that you can put into your baked goods that elevates the flavor without having that much sugar. With the ingredients, I was really focused on where I was getting my ingredients from. The fresher, the better, right? So the almonds come from California. Our peaches that are in the cluster blend come from California.
I'm eating a peach right now. That's what I'm chewing. A whole big chunk of peach. It's so good.
Isn't it so good? Those peaches are unsulfured, unsugared, unoiled, 100% organic. And that was the other thing that I really wanted to focus on is our granola being all organic ingredients. I think that's really important. With the flavor combinations, I really wanted something that was kind of out of the box a little bit, right? Like mulberries with pecans and coconut, something that you don't see every day. We just launched another one that was in the box that we sent over, but it's a Texas praline.
So where do people find you? Where do people find all these great flavors?
Yeah. So you can find us at Whole Foods in the Northern California area, a lot of the smaller stores down in Southern California, up in the Pacific Northwest, in Texas and New York.
All right. Full disclosure. Kristen was supposed to get the dark chocolate, coconut, almond butter, and pecan. I stole it, and you didn't know that. Well, now you know. Thanks, Michelle.
He will pay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right, we're to crunch on Nana Joe's. That's it for the 4 at 4.
We'll be right back. Maybe Larry won't be.